Hello, and today I'm going to do a logic puzzle. I'm here at the Conceptis Puzzles website, and I'm going to do one of their pick-a-picks, it's a specific kind of picture logic puzzle. And I have selected one I've never done before. I'm going to buy this. I believe this one is 15 credits. Each credit's about a penny, so it's like 15 cents. And I have $1.52 or 152 credits. So let me buy this puzzle. I picked a 25 by 25, which is relatively small, and an easy one in black and white so that I can demonstrate it to you of how this kind of puzzle works. This kind of logic puzzle I first came across in the early 1990s in Games magazine. I had a lot of fun doing it back then, and then I went to Japan one summer in 1994 and I got these books that were full of these puzzles. Some of them filled up the entire page and were really complicated. Actually, you can take a look at one I'm working on right now. So this is big. This is very hard. I have been working at this one over many days, mainly because I do this late at night and early in the morning as I'm going to bed, as I'm falling asleep. It's a kind of meditative practice for me, as it were. So let's make this small. We're going to do this really quickly, and I'm going to show you the normal way I would approach a puzzle like this. So it's 25 across and 25 down. You'll see a thick line every 5 boxes, and I actually tend to start with lines. So you can see this says 19 and this says 1 and 17. Let me start with the 19. So if the block of 19, each of these numbers indicates a contiguous block, so like 5, so 1, 5, and 3. This is not correct, but I'm just kind of doing it. So something like that. There has to be at least one empty space, and I will put in a dot. So I click it 2 times to get a dot to indicate I really intend this to be empty. If there's nothing in it, it just means I don't know yet. So let's start down here, 19. If I have a block of 19 that's going to be in 25, that means there are going to be 6 total empty spaces, and then a block of 19. If I started all the way over here, it would go to say there. And if I started, all the way over here, it would go there. So you see that there's this block in the middle from here to here, and you'll see it's 6 on either side because it's 19. 19 plus 6 is 25. So this is how I do it. When I do 1 and 17, I have the 1, then I have at least 1 blank, so now I'm up at 2, and then I have 19. So again, 6, and so this will go up to 17. So if I started all the way over here, that would get me to 17. So now, once I start that, I'm going to go up here, and I see I have a bunch of 1s, you see, on the bottom. And these are in order, by the way, for the blocks. This one is 9. And you'll notice I put 1 at the end. That means I know there has to be at least 1 empty. There's going to be a block of 2 above it, but I don't know when or where. This one's going to be 8, 2, 2, 2, 2, and this is also a 2. But now I'm going to do the next blocks. This has to be the 7. It goes up to here. I don't know if this is black or not. Maybe it goes here. I don't know yet. Similarly, that's going to be the 10. That's 1, actually, so I can actually put dots around that. So here's 1. Okay, so let's look this way. So you see I keep going back between vertical and horizontal. It has to be that. This one is 5. It has to be that one. There's a 3. It has to go to there. 1 could be anywhere. So now I'm going to start eliminating possibilities. If the 19 started here, it'd be 3, 3, and 3. See that? But this only has 1, so I can't start here or here. So now that pushes it out to here. Now this does have a block of 3 here, so I might start all the way over here. So I don't know yet. So that's all I know there. 3, 1, 2, 1. That could be a 2 or a 3. I don't know yet. I'm not quite sure if this is a 2 or a 4. Now, I know this is empty because the biggest thing I have is 3. If this was black, then I'd have at least 5. So you can kind of see how I reason through this. I have at least 2. That might be the 6. So if I do 2, 6, 2, that could be. I don't know.
This obviously goes to here because of 10. Okay, so now we're going to go look vertically again. This one, so that could be 1, and then a 12 goes to here. So 1, 10 would go to here. 1 and 10, yep. 10, yep, 2, okay. 1, 11 would go to here. 2, 2, and 11 would go to here. Okay, starting to fill it in. 2. So here's 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 3.
So here's a block. So you see this 2, 1, 1, 1, 3. Again, if I add this up, there has to be at least 1 empty space between. So I have 2, then it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 3 is 12. And I have 12 blank spaces. It will fill it up exactly. I'm going to get my first completed column. And you see there's a little green triangle when I completed it, and it automatically cleared out all those blocks, so I know it is finished. So let me try some of these other ones. This has to be a 3, but okay, it can start here. 3. That didn't work. Okay, so if I go back down here, I know this has to be a 3, and this has to be the 2. Okay, so now I have this lovely pattern. That's got to be 1, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1. So again, let's take a look. I've got 12 empty. 2, 3 plus 5 is 8, 9, 10. And I've got 12. So that means anything over 2 is going to have an overlap. Okay, so my 5 is going to do like this. Because I can have a 1 and then 5 would be here. I have a 2, 5 could be here. Here's an interesting one, 5, 9, 1, 3. Okay, so if I have a 3 and a 1, I have this space here. The 9 can't overlap it. It has to start here at the very least, and it just fits. So that gives me 5 and 9.
This has to be 5 and 2, so that gets me to the end. 5, 2. This has to be the 1, 5, 5. Okay, so this is not necessarily the 1, but if there's a black space here, then this would be the start of the 10. Okay, that has to be 3, and this would be 5. Okay, I'm not clicking it off because I only have 2 blocks of the 3. Now this is definitely the 2, and this is the 6. 6, 2. This is a 2. It has something after it. Is this a 2, 2, 2, 4, 2 won't fit. This has to be a 4, and there will be a 2 there. 2, 4. This can be 2. This might be a 1 or a 2, I'm not sure, so I'm not doing anything with that yet. Okay. This is a 2. I can't fit in the 3 and 2. That's going to be the last 2. Okay. See where we stand. Okay. This has to be filled. This is going to be a 2 in there. Okay, 3 goes to here. So this is a 2 and a 2. Again, I don't know if it's up or down. So I'll stop here.
Okay, I'm back. It's now noon. I left at 10 a.m. So when I finish this, we need to subtract 2 hours off of it. And I've switched from tea to beer. So let's get back to this. I will edit this to speed up part, so this is not going to be full time. So okay, here we
go. Let's go to this. 10 can only extend to here. See that 11, it's fine. 3. Okay, here we go. This is 1. 12 has to start there. And that goes all the way. 2, 2, 4. That can't be. That's a 1. That's 1. So this is my 10. And go to here. And that has to be 1. That's 1 and 1. I just need to finish the 10. Let's see. That may or may not be the 1. 1 could be here, and then 8 would extend to there. Okay, that could be possible. Okay, 2 and 3. And that has to be a 1 because it's 1, 1, 1. So I don't know if it's first or second, but it has to be 1. 3. That's still looking good. Here we go. This 17 has to go to here. That's 2. This is 1, 2. And the next one is 7. So 1 go to here. 8. 3, 5. 1.
This is a 2. So you can see I'm not really being methodical about it. When I used to do this, so I first came across this in the early 90s. It was a pencil puzzle in Games magazine. And it was not necessarily Conceptis who had been making the puzzles. Obviously, anybody can make these puzzles. However, you need to make sure the solution is unique. So that's one important, and it does exist. That's easy. You just start out with some kind of grid picture. But the problem is you can't just put any old numbers. Some are not going to be solvable. Some are not going to be unique. Now, the most interesting pictures and the kind of things you see tend to be where there are multiple blocks per row. And yeah, I don't think I've ever used the uniqueness of the solution in figuring out this, but it can be a technique for solving these. So I'm trying to do this. But it's often going back and forth. I look vertically, and I used to, when it was pencil, I would go through these each. So here's that 8 has to go to there. Okay, I got that. And that has to be at least there. And I'm not necessarily explaining all of these. Okay, so I'll explain this one. So I have a 1. This is obviously not the 1, so there has to be a 1 somewhere up here. Then a block of 2, which could be here, and then it would be 3. Or that's the 2. And either way, that. So sometimes I know there's an empty space. A lot of times I'm looking for an intersection where I know there's going to be a black square. But sometimes I can also determine by looking at what the possibilities are. Sometimes there's too many possibilities and I don't have a common block for all of the possibilities, where in every overlap it's black or in every overlap it's empty. So you have to work on that. So let's look at this one, 5, 4, 1. So 5, then if I do a 4 block, I can't do this because then it would be 5. So the 4 has to be that. Then the 1 would be here, 2, and I have too many possibilities for the 1, 1. Similarly, so now notice that when I complete this, now I look for places vertically that I can complete. So I have the 2 and the 9. If I do a 5 block, 1, 2, 3, 5, okay, so I know the 5 and then 2, there's too many possibilities, so I can't fill that in. This is one of the 5s. And that's a 5, so that's fine.
That's not the last one, so it has to be at least 2. Okay, 3, 2, 3, that has to be at least 2, so that gives me this 5. Okie doke. 3, 1, 2. So this has to be at least a 1. Okay, because the first one's here, second one's here. Potentially, that would have to be a 1. It can't be the 2. No, it definitely can't be the 3. That could be a 1, and there can be a 2.
This one looks like it might be, but let me just go across here. This has to be a 3. First or second, I don't know which. 6 has to go to there. You can hear Dermot singing in the background. Hey, Dermot. Yeah, that has to be a 1. All of these are 1 blocks. I don't know which one it is, so I can't mark any of them off. Hey, buddy, are you singing for me?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Hey, are you going to finish your sandwich, baby? 1, 2, 1. So that's nice. I got that part finished. 1, 2, 1. Okay, this could just be a 2. It doesn't have to be the 3. I don't know. Similarly, this could be a 2 or a 3. I don't know. Right, D? Okay, this cannot possibly be the 8. It has to be the 2. Oh, and actually I should have already known that because down up here. So this is the 8. That must be empty. Right, D?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can go up to here. Mama's doing the logic puzzle, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Sounds good.
Dunkin' Donuts.
That's later today.
Later.
Yep. Okay, this one it has a possibility. So we have a 3. Okay, so remember we have a 1 between each block. So 3 plus 1 is?
4.
4 plus 3 is?
7.
Plus 1 is?
8.
8 plus 8 is?
16.
Plus 1 is?
17.
Plus 1 is?
18.
Plus 1 is?
19.
Plus 5 is?
24.
24. And I have 25 blocks across. Now, I could have done this at the very beginning. Huh?
24 plus what is 25?
And I might, because I already have things filled in here, I might get a result. But let's do this. So that means I have a buffer of 1 if it's 24. So there's 3. Then I'm going to have 2 here. Then that, and then 2. And I'll need to do 7. Right? And that's 7. Very good. Okay, so nothing for the 1 and then the 5. Okay. Looks good. What do you think, Dee? Yeah? Oh, I already have the 1 down here. Fills in the 3. That column's done. Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This cannot possibly be a 5. And this is kind of an interesting thing. Notice that sometimes I'm not noticing that I have blocks below. So now this is up to 7. That can't possibly be part of the 8. There we go. Let's see here. That's got to be a 2. That's got to be 2. That's got to be part of the 3. And that's got to be the 1. Okay, so 2, 2, and 1. But the 3 is not finished. This is a 1, and this is a 1. So I'm not really being all that methodical. It does get boring. It's also like word search if that you take a methodical route where you go top left and go through.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can find all of the words in word search.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more fun to just kind of randomly scan or kind of do it piece by piece. Right, Dee?
Summers Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, Somers. Say
Somers
Somers.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, there's a Dunkin' Donuts in Somers that we like to go to.
Later.
We're going to go to later. We usually go on Saturdays, right, Dee?
Yeah.
Okay, there's 4 blocks of 2.
Later.
That's a 1. That's 2. 2 can't be.
Fine. Now, later. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's see here. 2, 3. Oh, okay, so 2 and 2, but a 3 wouldn't fit, so 3 has to be down here. There's too much space for the 2s to do much with. This is 10. So 10. So let's take a look here. There could be a 2 and a 1, and then a 1 and a 1. So those have to be filled in. 1 and a 1. Right, Dee? Yeah.
Okay, so I've got the 1 going across. So when I finish something vertically, I have to look horizontally. This one's going to be a 2. I have to put that between here. 2 and 2. This one's a 4. Goes over to here. That's my, oops. Oh, actually, let me do the screw up. Then you'll see what happens. It gives me a red triangle when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So let's fix that. I think you can turn that off if you think that's cheating. I don't think it's cheating per se. Most of the time I get the red, it is because I have filled in, I haven't done a second click. Okay, so this has got to be the 1, and then this is the 5. 5. So that will be done. Okay, so let's go across. That's got to be 2, 4, 1. And you see as we're going along, the process, I've talked about it like annealing. Okay, so I can't have this can't be filled in.
Yeah.
Because then it would be at least 6, and we have a 5 and a 4. So the question is, okay, that's got to be part of the 5, and that's the 4. 1's going to be over here somewhere, and I already have the 1 to the left. Okay, got that one, right?
Yeah.
8, 1, and 5. 1 and 5. Okay, so 3 and 3, that's not finished yet. Okay, if I had a 3 here, this has to be a 3. Okay, oh, and I knew that anyway. So this has to be the, oops, this has to be the 4. You're eating your sandwich, very good.
Oh.
This has got to be a 1. That's my 2, right? That could be a 3 or 2, I still don't know. Oh, here's my 8. That makes life easy. And a 1, right? Okay, so 3 is going to be here, 2 can't be here or here. Oop, now I got my 6. Right? So remember, this is an easy level. For harder levels, I would still have a lot more back and forth I'd have to do. But you're seeing it's filling in pretty rapidly. Now, once I get a critical mass, you start seeing the grid really filling in. Oops. So I've got my 5 and 1.
2 can't be here. Has to be 2. 5, 3, 2, 3. Okay. Okey-doke. And I've got to be a 2. And the 2's got to be here. That's got to be a 3. That 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3. That's the 3. That can't be there. So this is 6 plus 5
going to guess this is a skier. What do you think, Dee?
Yeah.
So sometimes I like to guess what the picture is before I finish it, right, Dear Med?
Yeah.
Because the great thing about these logic puzzles is you get a little treat when you finish. And this is actually one way, if the picture's not looking like much, well, maybe they're being artistic. Who knows, right, Dee? That can't be 2. That can be 2. This is going to be a 7. Goes up to here and down to here. There we go. Okay, and you're seeing that it kind of comes from the outside and it's moving down. Part of this has to do with the way I'm attacking it. It's 2, so this is 3. That's a 1. Goes across. Okay, 2, 3, 1. And notice I wasn't always keeping up with what I'm filling in. This has to be another 1. 1.
8, 1, 3, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's my 1. Okay, that's one is 3, so that's going to be 2 and 2. Okay, this is a 3. So this has 2. We're doing our little ski hole here, right? I just screwed that up. Trying to make it empty. That can't be. Okay, that's the 2. Here's the 3. And there's a 2. Yep. So we got the 2 3s. Right. Oh, I got my 1 here. So that's done. Ooh, now we can get closer to the 19. The 19's got to go up to here at least. Okay. So I got 2 of the 1s. Okay, I gotta think about that. That's 16 and that's 15. Oh, go back that.
A bit. 1. See, now I'm looking for, these 1s are often hard to deal with. Right, Dee? Okay. Let's see. Do we have our 1s? Nope, we need 1 more 1. And I need 2 here, but I got too many holes to fill. Okay, now I'm looking for a 3. Can't be there. Has to be here. And that's got the 1s, and I got my 2.
3. 1, 2. This needs 1 more 1, but I still got too many choices. Let's see. Can finish this one off. Finish this one off. Looking for the 2 and 2. 2. Come in. What's he doing? What are you doing?
Skiing.
He's skiing, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I've got 1, 2, 1, 1, and I'm looking for the 3. Oh, that's a 1. So there's my 3. There we go. So let's see. Here's my next one. I need a 1, 2, 3. That's my 19. That gives me 1. So let's see. I've got 1, 1, 3. So that's in. But I need 1 there. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Got 1 more. Ready?
Yes.
We finished it. Now it said 2 hours, 32 minutes, and 7 seconds, but Mama went away for 2 hours, so it was really like a half hour to do this. So you can see, this is fun. And Mama edited it down, so this was not a half-hour video. That's right.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts at what time? What?
At
After 2:30, buddy.
after 2:30.
Okay, go look at the clock.
Look at the clock.
So enjoy. I'll do a color one next. That would be much easier. Actually, the color ones are a lot easier than the black and white ones, and I'll explain why when I do that.